going live properly. There we go, I see it on Twitch. Very good, very good. I'm sure Stream Elements will let me know. In just a moment or two that I'm properly live. The drink is empty again already, apparently. Waiting for the go-ahead from Stream Elements that it has fully gone live, because for some reason it's being quiet. By now it should have prompted, which is a little bit weird. Which reminds me, I need to assign Stream Elements a role so it's not buried in the viewer set section. But that is something I can worry about at a future point. Okay, Stream Elements, if you're not going to say a damn thing, I'm just going to ignore you. Go ahead and run the intro again to give it a chance for people to filter in before I get started properly. There it goes. So yeah, those are the stakes at play. You gotta stop the Mega Beast by becoming fight enough. And then save the world. Oh hey, we started with an orb this time. Good to know that bonus is working out finally. Hooray. Not necessarily a bad thing if people are a little late coming in. It'll give me a chance to remember the controls and remember how to be okay at this. Just as I generally am. Okay, none of that's breakable, which means I have to go this way. Good day, sir. Thank you for your free scrap. Your donation is always appreciated. Yeah. You know, you gotta have the stability of legs in order to fire an arm cannon, apparently. Ignoring the fact that we can also get an orb that can shoot. Just don't think about that. Just don't worry about that part. And that's not counting the fact that you can have a second player as a damn orb, as you know, that shares your health bar. Though the big part I question is how these drones are able to be invincible, and I'm not. What are they made out of? I would like to be made out of this thing. Yeah, I would have assumed that would have been the spot where the item was. Apparently it isn't, which means probably, yep, right there. Just waiting for the platform to come back so I can safely jump up here. So I'm willing to bet, yep. The first upgrade is here. Firebolts, okay. Okay, guess I'm getting phasing somewhere soon. Or I'm not expected to go back there anytime quick. Which would not hurt my feelings any. I know I shouldn't have walked through the gas, but I'm impatient right now. And I also know, starting off impatient, not a great sign for future, but it'll be fine. Probably, possibly, perhaps. This is when he knew it wasn't fine. I don't remember these little lumps of meat that just sit there. No, he was full of money. Well, was gonna deny the boss the chance to fight me for a bit, but apparently we don't have any other options. So, boss it is. Oh great, it's Beak Lord. Fire damage remains very effective against fleshy monstrosities. Then again, yeah, actually I don't remember these tendons that cross these doorways too. I wonder if those are after effects of me having killed the Mega Beast once, so now new shit's spawning. That would make some sense. Which, in hindsight, probably gonna end up having to fight the stronger version of the Mega Beast now that I've defeated it once. So that's gonna make ending this interesting. But it'll probably be fine. A lot of phasing doors around here. Yeah, no, you would think defeating the Mega Beast once would, you know, loosen its hold on the planet. It turns out, no, not really. It's actually made everything a bit worse. Don't know if I should have double jumped that, but you know what? It happened. We're here now. Wherever here is. Aside from pain. Here is apparently great pain. There's the item. Shot speed. Okay. I could trade that out for something else anyway. Ooh, no. No, 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 no. If I can help it, I ain't going that way right now. That's factory. Factory's no fun. No, 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 no. Of course, now I've got to double jump my way back out of here. Because, you know, great life choices and all that. I'm starting to get an idea for how the double jump in this works, though. It seems like it works significantly better if I'm not at the top of my jump when I try to bounce. Oh, well, that's convenient, I guess. We now have the phase shell, which lets us pass through walls, as long as they're only one thick. Which enables us to go back. But it's the minor problem with that is now we might not have too many other places we can go, even with that don't involve going to the factory. The hell is this spinning little bastard? Oh, you do that. Okay. Expected result. Spinning little bastard turns into many little bastards. Yeah, sure, I'll trade a blue for a green. I don't know if that'll actually benefit me, but it's too late. It has been spent. Gimme, 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 gimme. Hey, what the hell? I should be able to phase through this. I guess there's not enough space? So I guess there must be another way to get in there. Presumably from this side. Yeah, you shoot through it on this side. I don't... Yeah, see, it lets me phase through it now. It must just be because there was an item there, so it was technically taking up space. Silly choice on their part, but, you know. They're the devs. They're allowed to make whatever weird choices they want. It just may upset me greatly. Well, we've got all the energy we could ever want, pretty much. Or at least more energy than I usually have anytime soon. Considering we don't have anything that uses energy. But I suppose it's better to have the energy now and not need it and all that. You can just hear the lack of conviction in my voice in that one. Because I quite clearly would rather have gotten something else. And I can't phase through that, so... Wait a minute. It really feels like it's trying to encourage me to do something here. Okay, so that does work. Huh. I'm gonna try something dumb. What I'm trying to do is actually phase through and then wall jump. Which is really, in the end, just making this significantly more difficult for myself for no other reason than because I feel like doing it. I probably should just give up on this idea. Trying to wall jump up through this tiny area here is just going to be an exercise in frustration. Which I'm sure would be hilarious to watch for the first 10 minutes. And after that, it'll just get a bit sad. It just turns into, why isn't he learning anything? Forgetting the fact that I'm incapable of learning from my mistakes. I am only able to learn from other people's mistakes. Huh. I mean, if I had health containers, that would be a trade with some potential, but I probably would still never trade health for any of the scraps. Because that strikes me as just not worth it, all things considered. Why am I being pinged on Discord? Why? There we go. More bullets. Always helpful. Need electricity to get through that door. Anything can get through this door, though. I could have just phased through those, but I figured I may as well shoot them. Mostly habit. Probably in that block right there. Even being gone from this for a week or a few weeks, still remember where too damn many things are. Free green scrap, okay. We take those. We take those here. Got explosive doors in the next room over down there. And I'm willing to bet that explosives are probably in the factory. Because they tend to spawn in there, and it makes me sad, because I hate the factory. But it's also looking like we're running out of other places to go. So that's unfortunate. The master map would be real nice. But unfortunately, I traded my only blue scrap for a green earlier, and I did not trade my health for a green. I mean, for a blue, rather. I don't really need a repair kit right now. I could always come back to him if we find a Revenant station, which we should. No, up, up, more up. Just gotta get back to where the factory door is now. Because unfortunately, pretty sure I'm correct in thinking that that's the only remaining viable path. Which sucks. I do not feel comfortable going to the factory. We could try to purchase the master map right now. I've made a decision that I'm probably going to regret, but I want to know. I want to know how bad off I am as far as our current situation with the factory being the only viable path. I'm almost certainly going to regret the fact that I have now put myself in a position where I'm only going to have 6 maximum health going into the factory. That usually does a fair whack of damage to me consistently and constantly. But I've never had the master map either, so I would like to have that. Because you only unlock the master map, I think, after you get 100% map completion? It's either that or it was from beating the Mega Beast. So, yeah. Our only viable path is, in fact, the factory. The factory will provide either lightning or explosives. Potentially both. Because more than likely, the factory... Definitely feel like I've signed our death warrant with the exchange I made here, but I'll figure something out. Or I'll die. Either way. Things will happen. Worst case, we reset. Not exactly a big issue in this game. And the fact that I can phase through that breakable wall, though, makes me further assume with that previous breakable wall that we couldn't phase through, that it was purely because of the fact that it had an item where I would have landed, and they didn't want to have to process that concept. Which is understandable. That would be a pretty pain in the ass concept to try to sort out. Now, behind that electricity door to our left, considering there's an item at the end of the path, leads me to suspect that more than likely one of the two weapons I was talking about, the electricity or the explosive, is behind that door. Considering it's electricity, that would lead me to believe that would be the explosives behind it. Unless it's something like the jetpack, which we'll probably need for getting to the Mega Beast. Or it's something kind of unnecessary, like an armor suit or something. Which, don't get me wrong, I would love to have the armor suit, all things considered, for the simple fact of, you know, surviving fighting the Mega Beast. Especially at our new health deficit. Actually, wait, no, we can go up to this shrine up here, since we have the phase shell now. As usual, my body chooses the moment I've gone live to rebel. This is nothing new. Hephaestus. You want things in amounts relating to 6. I'm gonna give you 24 and a green and see what you give me. Okay, that's bad. That's good but bad. The Artifice Helm means our amount of scrap is our health. Oh, good. That also triggered another, or one of those. But yeah, you'll notice we now no longer have a health bar. That's gonna be a thing. It's a good and a bad. Oh, on the bright-ish side, that does mean we have slightly higher odds than we did moments ago for surviving the factory. Because this does mean that at the very least at the moment, we have 13 health instead of the 6 we had. And that amount can go up. The problem is, it becomes very reliant on more scrap dropping instead of health dropping. And since health drops are far more common, usually, than scrap drops, this could get to be a problem. There we go. It does mean that you'll see me going out of my way to kill just about everything on screen more often than not. Because I need all the scrap I can get now. Which in some ways is going to benefit me, and in other ways is going to come back to haunt me. Because it also means anytime we go shopping, we are stabbing ourselves in the back quite heartily. And unfortunately, you kind of need to buy some stuff, unless you're much better at the game than I am. Which unfortunately, as probably made clear by the way that was said, I'm not that good. So, we're gonna have to play it by ear and kind of hope it works out. In theory it will, but in practice, depends on what we're dealing with. And yes, I see the little tumor on the edge here. Did not, however, see these little bastards till I landed on them. Speaking of shopping... You're Orpheal, aren't you? No, you're Zurvan. Zurvan wants things in 5s, but I don't want to spend anything right now. I'll get back to you about that, Zurvan. How about you, Orb Master? You've got the little Wadjet, which I could afford. I've never had the Wave Bomb, but that will put me back down to 6 health. It's a trade-off, but I'm willing to gamble on a new weapon. Now, the thing with Little Wadjet is, as it said there, it'd be a portable shrine to that machine god, which is all well and good, but I don't particularly care for the results of those shrines more often than not anyway. And we tend to find enough shrines that having a portable one seems just kind of superfluous. Okay, the damage boost will be immensely helpful. Won't necessarily keep me from getting myself killed, but it'll help me kill better, which will help me get more money, and as you might imagine, that all goes together. Something I'm quickly realizing, though, is Wave Bomb ain't it. It ain't the solution to our problems. Will it have its uses? Maybe. Are those uses going to be apparent? Probably not. Here's a warp room. Don't care particularly, but it's a thing. We need to get out of this room fast. Except I forgot to grab the item that's in it, and we're probably gonna need it. This is upsetting. Don't mind me as I just farm a bit more scrap to make up for that mistake. That is what this run could turn into, is just scrap farming extravaganza to make sure we have enough scrap to survive. Let alone thrive. But considering the whole point of tonight was that I was just gonna kind of chill, I'm not gonna worry about it anything too much. Because all it'll do is just make matters worse. So we're just gonna take it easy, try to get as far through and do as well as possible, but just kind of have a good time. Don't make a big thing of it. Where is the item? Oh, it's explosive only. And you would think Oh, hey, we've got a wave bomb. It'll open that. Nope. Full of lies and sadness. Experience utter despair. Now, I can't help but feel that this is harsh, game. Like, you're gonna expect me, the guy who's kind of awful at wall jumping, to wall jump his happy ass out of here. Oh, come on, that was almost the perfect wall jump. Because the problem is, when you're trying to single wall jump like this, I, at the very least, have a bad tendency to be holding the wrong direction for too long, and be unable to correct myself in time to make it through the hole at the top of whatever I'm trying to single wall jump off of. So I just get kind of stuck in a loop like you saw there. So I've never really figured out exactly the right frame for that. Once again, forgetting the item that's in the room that I so painstakingly got to. You're mocking me, aren't you, game? The fact that I threw away my max health to get one of these, and then you just stuck one in a wall. That's where it is, probably. No? Oh god, the pain. My money. You know what's more painful than my physical damage? The fact that I'm losing my money. That's just upsetting. Pro tip, don't worry about money more than your health. This is not actually a good way to be. But when your money is your health, then worry about money. Then money's kind of important. Oh, I have regrets. I have great regrets. The good news is I also have bombs. Bombs can get rid of regrets. That is also not a good suggestion, but, you know, important. Okay, we've gained back the scrap we've lost. I would love to say we made a profit, but we haven't. And at the rate things are going, we're not going to. This is a business that is not going to turn a profit. Oh, I don't appreciate that. I appreciate that less. I appreciate this less. Much less. No. Damn it. We have a problem. Oh, brain, why did you have to think of that idea now? So, some of you may have considered this concept as well. I'm being fired upon with missiles. There's a door underneath me that needs to be exploded to get into. Can I guide an enemy missile to the door and have it open the door? This is a fascinating idea that I'm willing to bet will get me killed. Needless to say, this is my finest of plans. And I'm going to absolutely attempt to implement this, since we still have that Revenant station connected to me anyway. Nope, they turned way too fast for that idea to ever possibly work at that angle. Oh, and it only gave me back 3 scrap, just like I had when I died. We might be hooped. I ain't gonna accept that death, but I'm acknowledging the likelihood of it. But sure, I got us out of that room, but there's a lot more bad to go. Thankfully, I've still got my blocking orb. But it's not the best. This is by far not the worst situation I've been in, but it's not a good one. Oh, wait. Aha. Does that mean there's a similar hole over here? Yes, there is. Oh, I'm not sure I wanted to go faster, but okay. I guess this is a thing we have now. I mean, I guess technically I could have just not picked it up, but that seems counterproductive, of all things considered, because that speed will probably be important at some point. Oh, that was just rude. Like, oh, hey, you opened a door. Haha! Suddenly giant monster. We have once again not turned a profit. Man, I'd love those big bolts. I don't particularly care about laser beam, but those big bolts would have been very helpful. Because it would have made my shots, of course, hit things that they otherwise might not have. But we are poor and dying, so not in the cards. Thankfully, at least these wave bombs have one purpose, and that's getting rid of these corruptor bastards. Oh, we have 1 health left, though. 1 health in a dream. And unfortunately, that dream might be dead. Especially since I can't seem to stop losing everything but that 1 scrap over and over again. Oh boy. There it is. There's the death. Because I didn't realize there wasn't another platform on the same height as I was jumping on. Oh, we've spawned with the shooting orb now. That's a vast improvement. Okay, he said don't trust him, but he also provided us with increased fire rate, so I'm more inclined to trust him than I am to trust most people, because he's already provided me with at least 1 useful service, which is more than I can say for most people I know. Of note, trust should not be based on useful services, but, you know. There are worse things to base it on. That's just not a good one. Of note, for any of you Bloodstained fans out there, I'm probably going to go finish my normal run of that tomorrow during the day. Think like 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, something like that. Depends on how my motivation works out tomorrow. I would prefer it to be 1 so I can go longer without it interfering with anything else I'll be doing. But I can't guarantee anything. My motivation is, unfortunately, a fickle creature. Though, resuming a slightly healthier situation of actually taking vitamins again has assisted that a little bit. I would never recommend vitamins as a replacement for eating properly, but in this day and age, I think everyone could understand that that's not always necessarily the most viable of options. Starting with hover boots. You're telling me that the first item I'm getting, instead of being a weapon upgrade, is hover boots. I guess since they gave me the gun orb, that's fine. I guess that's fair. But I don't think I appreciate what I've been granted here. That said, the hover boots are going to be incredibly helpful. I just think I'm going to die. Oh great, it's this guy. Well, he'll actually be real easy to beat with the hover boots, since, you know, can guaranteed clear his height instead of gambling on whether I'm going to jump high enough or not. Not that he was ever much of a threat anyway, you can just kind of power through him and be done with it. Which, I'm not gonna lie, kind of sad to say, but it's accurate of a lot of the bosses in this game. If you've got even a handful of damage increases, or something that just straight increases your fire rate, like the gun orb here, you can just kind of power through most bosses. It's kind of unfortunate design, but I don't really see how they could avoid that without giving them egregious amounts of health. Or weakening your power-ups to the point where it's a lot less fun. Oh, that's a problem. I hope there's nothing we needed or wanted up there, because we're down here now. And there ain't any coming out of here till we get either, like, infinite jump, or the jetpack to go with the hover boots, high jump, something. Some manner of jump better. We've got jump good, but we need jump better. Oh, these stupid bird heads. Always such a pain to hit. That's not what I needed. You know what I don't need? My projectiles to fly faster. What I do need is my projectiles to kill better. Now, some would say that that does make your projectiles kill better, because they're more likely to hit their target. And that's not technically wrong, but I don't think this is one of those games where you have to wait for your projectile to make contact to replace the bullet, so I don't care how fast my bullets go. Now, if I got closer to something and faster bullets meant I hit a lot more, then sure, I'm all for that. But as it stands, I'd rather a health extension. Give me a new lease on life. Yeah, you know, I don't think I've actually properly gone through heated zones in this game yet. I keep not surviving long enough to get the heat protection on any run I've seen hot rooms in. Because they're not guaranteed. Well, this is interesting. I guess we're getting phasing again. Because none of this is breakable, and it's not walkthroughable. Huh. I was figuring the gun orb would manage to knock it off its track a bit. The answer? No. Ooh, I haven't gotten this yet. You get this by having a ridiculously high fire rate, and I think firebolt at the same time. That's how you unlock it at the very least. Now that we have it, I don't know if I care for it. It's very slow. And we're also very nearly dead, so we may not have it for long. Let me out, let me out, let me out. I don't need more speed. I need to live. Look at this. Look at my speed relative to anything else I've got. I've got 3 speed upgrades and nothing towards not dying. And I know a certain someone's gonna call me out and say that that's exactly how I operate, but now is not the time for that. That is, of course, 100% on brand, but I really don't need that to be true right now. It's especially unhelpful because since I've got a new toy, of course I'm going to try to find ways to use it, whether it's appropriate or not. Oh yes, let's go even faster. Let's achieve reckless levels of speed, shall we? Sometimes I think the universe is listening, and all it wants to do is mock me. Because it could avoid a lot of this. A lot of these problems could easily be avoided. But the universe says no, and decides to give me these things anyway. Yeah, it's the old put a tripwire down and then tell people not to trip on it. It's like, well, now that you told me it's there, now I feel compelled to hit it just to spite you. I don't particularly need this red archaic scrap, but I'm sure it'll be useful at some point. Like, I could turn it into Hephaestus right now. In fact, yeah, why not? Let's go 24 in red this time instead of 24 in green. Let's see how he feels about that. We got the same thing again, and I regret my life choices. Oh, so what that means is 24 and any color is likely to give you Artificer Helmet. Great. Great. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I've basically killed myself. Sometimes I wonder why I like this game. The things it does to me makes me really wonder. And it certainly makes it not seem like that feeling is mutual. Ignoring the fact that it's a video game and can't feel. Okay, the Hellfire Cannon's not actually that slow. You just have to mash in order for it to really pull its weight. Though that drop is... Oof. That drop's a thing. Oh, boy. Purge it in flames. Okay, so Hellfire Cannon, once you realize you can spam it, just becomes a better flamethrower, in a way. It's not entirely. Because it's a little more fiddly. But it definitely can rip something up if you need it to. And it appears to have decent energy economy, which is definitely better than the flamethrower. The flamethrower just chews through your energy, like you'd expect a flamethrower to do. Ah, yes, now give me a damage boost while I have guaranteed negligible health. Thanks, game. Thanks for teasing me with all of the things I wanted, now that I'm not going to be able to keep them. Okay, I think trying to farm these two is not going to pay out. And I'm not going to fight two of these at once. There's no way in hell. I'm probably better off farming the weird meat dog. Which really sounds like a strange sentence, the more you think about it. So I would advise against it. Both saying the sentence and thinking about it. Kill it with fire, kill it with fire, kill it with fire. Oh, that has fun results. Irresponsible things to do, number 53. Spin with a flamethrower in your hands. Or in this case, a Hellfire Cannon. Don't ask what numbers 1 through 56 are, because I don't remember all of them. But I will say they are all very irresponsible ideas. And I've probably actually had more than 57. There's probably at least 3 57s. What's important is that you don't do these things. Best to strike while the iron's hot since we've got this damage bonus. Though this thing could easily be the death of me. Because I seem to recall that this thing hurts a lot. Yeah, considering it's got a stun laser and it punches. Yeah, this is a problem. It also does not give the greatest of opportunities to hit it. Unless you can avoid the laser. Ah! Because the problem is, you don't really have a good way to get past it. At half the time. Because the float out from the hover boots is all well and good, but it's just not fast enough. It is, you know, as you might expect, a little too floaty. And now we've got one scrap left, so this is a problem. I'm going to attempt to farm scrap to fix this, but I make zero promises that this will pay out at all. Considering I'm gonna basically just have to nuke and pave this room a few times, and hope that the dog does not survive. Which, out of context, that sentence sounds terrible. But, you know. Now, the big problem with using the Hellfire Cannon to defeat this room over and over again is the fact that the game's going to keep wanting to give us energy to refill the Hellfire Cannon. Thus taking precedence over giving me health pickups, or in this case, scrap. Because I want to say the item priority is energy, then health, then scrap for the drop table in this game. Which, realistically, you'd think health would be the top of the drop table, but I have definitely seen plenty of occasions where it isn't. Which is why I assume energy is the top of the table. But it may also just be my luck. My luck is known to be unique, and I got distracted for just a second and botched. That's just how it goes sometimes. I just need to stop going to the shrine of Hephaestus at all. His shrine is a damn curse. Yeah, that's not an inaccurate comparison, but I also hate that comparison. Also, I'm sad because not only did we not even spawn with an orb, instead we got stuck with these stupid nanobots that are going to destroy themselves doing minor damage to things. Hooray. You killed a respawning enemy, and now you're gone forever. Now we need to get up there, because he's just gonna keep spitting out more babies. We easily could have gotten stuck in a loop where he could have just kept vomiting them out over and over again, and if I was too slow about dealing with them, I'd just constantly have to keep trying to dig myself out of that. I wish I could say I wasn't saying that from previous experience in this game. But unfortunately, I've definitely been at the bottom of a hole where there's 2 or 3 of those pointed, and it just becomes nearly impossible with the basic bolt to get through that without just tanking the little bastards. Which, you know, you really don't want to do, but if you gotta do, you gotta do. Item, item, item. Where is the item? It's probably right here. They were very subtle, but not with where they hit a lot of items in this game. Because almost always, you'll see that there's something slightly out of place wherever an item actually is. Sometimes it's mirrored in the room so that it looks like it belongs there. But generally, it stands out a bit. Now, we did miss an item back in the other room. And now that we're back to being pathetic, weak robot, we should probably go back and get that. Because we need all the fight we can get. Especially since it really shouldn't be that hard to get a hold of whatever this is. It should just be right around here somewhere. Now, this is one of those ones I was talking about before where the item's not necessarily obvious. It's somewhere that makes sense, probably. But it's not somewhere obvious. Specifically, it's probably right behind this guy. Because there was a metal plate there on an otherwise just plain tree trunk. Even though the tree trunk is obviously mechanical in nature, just like everything else in this planet, aside from the invading meat species. Also, weird coincidence I've noticed. Whenever I get the Artificer Helm, things start dropping a lot less scrap. I don't know if the universe is just continuing to be angry with me as far as things go with that, or if that's just a mechanic with the Artificer Helm to make you not just be permanently super healthy. Because at the normal scrap drop rate, I would be sitting at like 20 health perpetually with the Artifice Helm. Which would make it not so bad. But considering as soon as I get it, I seem to never get any scrap again in any real amounts, it's a problem. Hover boots first again. What's it trying to make me do? Or is it just tired of me spending a good 10 minutes of every run trying to wall jump places, and they're just like, here, take this so you stop wall jumping. Please stop wall jumping. Because that would be understandable. Right? It's just that little bit odd that you don't want to believe it's true, but it's hard to justify not believing that it's true. This is more than likely going to be the tree boss again, considering we are in the forest. He tends to be the primary boss that shows up here. Though it might be the weird flying thing that just spews gas everywhere. Kind of like these jerks do. Just grabbing a top off before going in. Oh, it's this thing instead. Okay, sure. I forgot that this could show up as a forest boss. Because this thing's kind of dumb. Don't get me wrong, it can be very dangerous, especially in a confined space like this, where it can shoot you quite easily because you don't have much room to dodge it without hitting its mini-me's. But it's not exactly the most interesting or engaging of bosses, all things considered. I think I can get back up. Yes. Okay, good. Let's go up first, then. Well, glad to see up is such a worthwhile expenditure of our time, everybody. Glad up goes so far. Not shown is the amount of shaking of my head happening with that. I do apologize for the frequent interruptions, but there appears to be a lot going on right now for some reason. Oh. Am I crazy, or weren't you following me before, Enderlord? But either way, appreciate it. Twitch has been being weird, so I don't know if I can ever trust anything it's telling me. But either way, how you doing? Good to hear. Okay, Hellfire Cannon again. Kind of horrifying having the Hellfire Cannon shots come back at me off that thing's shield. I know they can't hurt me, but man, is that uncomfortable to see. That's what I get for trying to just avoid them. Oh well. Health in this reality is at the very least easily replaced. Yep. Had a feeling I was being stupid about it. Just couldn't quite catch where. Just like it's behind that one. That is an exchange I feel no need to do. I've not seen anything indicating that I need one or the other. You missed 2 back-to-back trips where I ended up with the Artifice Helm and very promptly perished as a result of it. So I'm beginning to think that helmet's cursed. At least for me. But other than that, not particularly anything of note has happened so far. During a practice run I did a while back, I ended up beating the Mega Beast finally. I've still yet to succeed in doing it on stream. But maybe one day. Maybe today. Who knows? Crazier things have happened. I definitely don't want Zurvan's Pentangle right now. That really wouldn't help me. Health drops have never really been the big concern. I could grab the Power Pauldrons, but I don't even really need those either, because with the Hellfire Cannon, I don't tend to run out of energy for any real amount of time. So I think I'm just gonna leave this alone. I might come back for that Eth chip later, but I don't need it right now. And I'd rather hang on to my scrap in case the universe decides I need the Artifice Helm again. Because that was part of the problem, is almost every time I spent a decent amount of scrap at Hephaestus' shrine was when I got the Artifice Helm. You'd think I would have learned after the first time I made that mistake. But no. I made that mistake twice in one day. Because I'm a genius. Meanwhile, in the Catharsis room, burning everything to the ground. course this isn't the side that opens. Why would it be? Because after all, if that was the side that opened, I wouldn't have an excuse to burn everything. I can't say I'm opposed to that angle, at least. Wah, 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 wah. Unfortunately, this is going to be another fairly short stream because long days at work are taking their toll because the holidays and all that. But I wanted to keep things going, so went for something I knew I could reasonably relax with. So here we are. Though I have to imagine that there would be people that look at this and go, "You think this is a chill game?" It's like, well, compared to a lot of things, yes. And compared to my day job, very yes. I work at the meat shop at a local grocery store. It is not a fun experience. But at least it keeps the lights on and keeps me an internet to do this, so. Well, that was a quick fight. But yeah, basically I've been spending my days lately racking my back throwing hams and turkeys around. I don't think I've ever actually gotten the glow shell before. I almost always get the glow orb. This is an improvement. There we go. Momentarily got very stuck. Mildly sad that they more or less took the same animation for this glow pulse that they have for the energy pulse when you get hit from that one other item. But considering the team size, I'm more than willing to understand them needing to save dev time and art. need this right now, but it's a thing and it exists. And while said grocery store has a name, I will not speak that name because I refuse to give them any kind of advertisement, positive or otherwise. Therefore, their name doesn't exist. Yeah, working for that company, not a positive experience. No. Thankfully, it's not that bad. It is not that bad. I would call them out. Just because it's well known that everybody knows, everybody knows that Walmart's awful. So that wouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Zervon, you can have 20. And you can have the green one. Okay, at least that gives me another chance, so... eh. No. Hell, in this day and age, I hesitate to even call a Walmart a grocery store. I don't think you'd want to eat anything you find there. The timing of those sirens going off outside is eerie, considering in making jokes about large companies. So if I suddenly go offline, they found me. And what have you been stealing? I had a feeling that's where this was going. Wasn't expecting Madrid specifically. I have heard they're a delicacy, though. Best not to ask where I heard that. Goldfish memory happened. That's why I ran back here. That would make sense. I didn't find any other warp points, so I gotta climb to the top of this room to get out of here. Okay. Fair enough. And that's why spraying fire above your own head, willy-nilly, is not your finest of ideas. I'm willing to bet that was not the reason anyone was expecting that to be a problem. Also, I can't help but notice that we managed to break a hole in the side that didn't break open when we were over here before. So I'm kind of confused by that. Oh yeah, clearly. This logic's infallible. I see no problems here. Ah, yeah, you know, but they're tiny. They can't possibly do anything that bad to you. This is that moment where people have to play that spooky game of, is he joking? I would certainly hope so. This is going to be a pain. Because it would appear I can't break through this, which means I've got to jump my way around this. Which is most likely going to require hovering and wall jumping. But I don't think you can hover and wall jump at the same time, can you? Because you have to be spinning to wall jump. So I must be missing something. Oh, duh, I have the glow shell. I can go in the dark room. I got so used to not being able to go in dark places that I just didn't consider that part of the map, and then looking at it in that other room, I couldn't actually see that room on the map anymore. Those gray rooms really blend in. Okay, we're off to the Crystal Cave. Which is dark. Great! Great! I'm so pleased that this place that is already very annoying is also dark. As it turns out, game, no, I will not give away the e-health container I only just now got to shoot slightly faster. No. You can take your amazing offer and stick it. This way. Though I will say I'm much happier having the glow shell in here than I would having that stupid glow orb following me around. Even if the flashing from getting hit is kind of annoying, it's still less annoying than that orb wandering off in weird directions when I need to see something. There's a lot of deals in here. And most of them are bad. Wow. I am so glad to be offered all of these things that I do not want. Okay, let's just purge everything, and then we'll figure out where that item is. It's presumably in the ceiling somewhere. But it appears to not be there, so... it must be somewhere annoying. It can't be all the way down here, because that's too far away from where the marker is. Ah, there we go. I was just not hitting the right spot there. Okay. And of course, when I'm not trying to, I get a beautiful wall jump. I mean, actually, yeah. I'm willing to give up one of my speed upgrades for that, because I don't mind not going the fastest I could possibly be going. Will that come back to bite me later? Probably. But will going too fast also bite me? Yes. Oh, there we go. We immediately got that speed back, so nothing was lost. Aside from the potential of having even more speed. I gotta stop saying things. Too many things I say come true that I don't want. Yet if I said something I wanted, it wouldn't come true. Like, if I said I would find $1 million outside that I could legally take tomorrow, that of course won't happen. I don't think I've had this before either. Wait, no, I think I had that a long time ago. And then ever since then I was getting the electric shots, which is just fine by me. Because I don't know if I really like that thing. But I have it now, I guess, so here we are. Living that life. Has its uses, at least. Okay, Orpheal. I have a lot of money. I don't generally like what you offer, but I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself. Give me something for 18 in blue. You've partially redeemed yourself. Hunter-Killer is fun to have. Now get out of my sight, Orpheal. As I leave your room, thus getting myself out of your sight, but don't think about it too hard. Having two energy consuming weapons rather, is going to mess with me a bit because I'm so used to only ever getting one. So when I try to cycle to the right all the way around, I'm going to end up throwing grenades randomly. Okay, they've ceased giving me anything for murdering those little spawns. Which is understandable. It wasn't sporting. That definitely needed to die in a fire. I keep getting this horrible sneaking suspicion that I should have hit those side paths in the beginning of this area. Because I'm betting that's where the actual items are, and this whole trip around is gonna lead to not enough. What? Game that is very clearly touching it. Why is that not working? To hell with you, door. I don't need you. I don't need to get through you. I apparently need to jump in acid, though. Because that's a great idea. Hooray. I am so overjoyed to emit a small cloud of poison when I get hit, making the graphical effects when I take damage even more kind of obnoxious. Because, you know, exactly what you need when you're taking damage is to be distracted by random effects going off all around you. Rather than being able to be aware of what your surroundings actually contain. Let's just have, like, 3 different effects go off when you take a hit. Okay, shot speed. Oh, fire rate, rather, but same difference. I'm going to take a quick break, though. Back in just a moment. Okay, I'm back. Just needed a quick break to get the energy back a bit. God damn it. Got knocked back through the door, because of course I did. Where the hell? Item, what are you hiding? Show yourself, damn it. I will not leave without loot, damn it. Okay, I confess to being a bit confused. Because you would think the item would have been somewhere where we've hit already. But clearly it isn't. Except it was somewhere I shot already, it just, for some reason, was not quite right not quite the right spot. Well, we're on a good track this time. Because we've got a lot of health, we've got some good equipment, we've got a decent amount of damage upgrades. We've just generally got a decent setup going. Sure, I'll go ahead and take Buzz Orb, why not? Flying Buzzsaw Friend. I don't really need a Zurvan Shrine following me around. He's not exactly giving me the best things. And here we are again. Yep. 4 damage upgrades now. Okay. And another Revenant Station. Okay, we're definitely on the path to at least making it to the Mega Beast. This run. Which means this will probably be... This might be a good run to end on. I don't know. I'm uncommitted to whether I'll do a third run tonight or not. Actually, no, 4th run, because those 2 Artifice Helmet runs both ended very quickly. This guy, huh? Okay. Hellfire Cannon it is, then. Cowabunga it is. Oh, wow, that hurt a lot. That's a significant problem. Damn it! I was afraid was gonna manage to kill me that easily. Okay, we're gonna need to get a bit of health back before we fight him again, because only being able to take 2 charges from him is not gonna cut it. So I guess let's take a peek over this way. Ah, good. A convenient health spawning spot. Well, health and energy. Till they fly in from a weird angle like that. There we go, full health. Now we should be fine to take that thing out. Because I think it'll be able to hit me 4 times and I won't die. The 5th time would be death. Something like that. Either way, it should be fine. Of course, you know, ideally just don't get hit in the first place, but that's clearly been shown not to exactly be the main skill I have. Though it is unfortunate to have lost a Revenant Station before we even got to the Mega Beast. Considering I do have this unfortunate tendency to get myself killed fighting it. Thankfully, with Hunter Killer, can kind of just cheese him a bit, because you don't have to even fight him. Hunter Killer will do the work for me. I just showed up. Huh. Well, at least there's that. Now we'll have a chance to start with an energy weapon in every run. With all these unlocks, we have a chance to start runs stacked. Which is kind of neat. Definitely would speed the game up a lot. Because, like, we can start with an orb, we can start with an energy weapon, and I think there's one other thing that there's a chance I could start with, but I've yet to start with it. I don't think I have a chance to start with any kind of, like, armor or anything, and I don't even know if that's an option. I would like that to be an option, though. Starting with armor would help immensely. I should check those side paths in here. I was torn between just leaving via the teleporter and checking all the side paths in here. The amount of side paths that there are makes me really think that there's probably at least one other actual item spot in here. Especially since this zone spawned so damn big. Look at this. This zone is almost the size of the map screen. That makes me really think that it's probably going to be significant to check these side paths. At the very least, we'll probably get some power-ups. Even if we don't necessarily get relics. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm pulling for the jetpack a little bit out of one of these, just to make getting back up to the other area easier. That is, of course, if I don't get myself killed trying to get out of here. Actually, I'm gonna do a safety move. I don't know if this is necessarily my best safety move, But I'm actually going to go back to the broken Revenant Station and use the repair kit we've got to fix it. I was originally going to save that for the Revenant Station that's closer to where the Mega Beast is, but the teleporter here is not too far a trip, so it's not a bad idea. At the rate I'm going, I may even need that Revenant Station before we even goddamn leave this place. Which is embarrassing, but, you know. God damn it, game. Pew. Now we gotta reuse it to make sure it doesn't do anything dumb. I say as I do something incredibly dumb, having forgotten the layout of that room that quickly. Throwing away the repair kit and this Revenant Station in one fell swoop. Go me. Yeah, maybe this is last run of the night. If I'm making plays like that already, that's not a great sign. That was the orb bot up here, wasn't it? I don't know if the Phasarang is really any good other than for opening areas you otherwise couldn't get into by throwing it through walls. I mean, I guess it gets its own energy back when you catch it, so I guess that's a good mechanic, question mark, but I don't know. Seems a bit slow. The damage is otherwise not terrible. Just a little slow and gimmicky. Which is, admittedly, gimmicky is usually absolutely the way I go. These conveyor belts, though, are... Oh, god damn it, I did it again! I ran back into conveyor belt hell for no reason, because the goddamn layout of this place sucks. I need to go up and over, not try to go straight across. Because straight across doesn't exist. I almost swindled myself twice. That is honestly kind of depressing. All I gotta say is I really hope these side paths end up being really worth it, or I'm gonna be even more upset with myself. Which means prepare for me to be upset. Because I'm almost certain this is not going to have been worth losing an entire Revenant station and a repair kit for. So there is a fire door here with an item behind it. So maybe, just maybe, this will turn into something. It was a damage upgrade. Okay. I'm willing to have traded the Revenant station for a damage upgrade. That or a health upgrade would have been the two non-item upgrades that I would have accepted. I still would have been happier with an actual item. But we're getting a little low on those at this point. There's probably not too many more in the world. Like, presumably the jetpack is still out there in the wild somewhere. Because of that hole we're having trouble getting back out of. There's a shop up here. Gunbot shop. He's got energy axes, which I don't want. Toxic spray, which I don't particularly care. Webbolt, I'll take Webbolt. Slowing shots will probably save my life. Though, energy axes probably would work against the Mega Beast. I think the Hellfire Cannon will be more useful overall for that. Because I can just spray the Hellfire Cannon at him. I do appreciate that the web shots also actually change your shot graphic. You can even see a little white canister underneath my gun. It's the little touches. It really is. Just the little touches most of the time that'll make a game. There is another side path all the way the hell down there. But I don't know if I care that much about that side path. But in hindsight, that's basically my only remaining viable path. Is going down there, because... Actually, no, I can get through the boomerang door now and get to a whole nother zone. And I can always warp back. So no, we're gonna finish leaving this hell. In the hopes that we never have to come back here. Spoilers, we're gonna have to come back here. Or if I want all of the things. So I'm almost certain there's something on that side path over there. But I'm going to use the teleporter at the very least to make it not a big pain in my ass to get there. Because I am capable of not making terrible decisions some of the time. They just turn into mediocre decisions. Okay, so lots of down. I'm kind of surprised we haven't gotten an explosive item yet. And these small holes that spawned makes me think we might get a slide or a spider morph still too, but none of them are required, so they may be a red herring. Not sure why you'd really need a red herring in a situation like this, considering really shouldn't be making that many determinations anyway. Because they're not necessary to actual progress. So it doesn't particularly matter if I know what items are going to exist or not. It just expedites things because I can tell which ways are going to be more likely to be worthwhile. Yep, the Lost City. And the reason why I basically expected the Lost City is it seems like it's always a spawn. It seems like this is one of the things that always spawns. You're guaranteed to either have a forest or the other starting zone, a Lost City, and then you've got either the factory or the crystal caves, sometimes both. It seems to be the main layout of zones for this game. There's probably some variation therein further than what I'm mentioning. But that's what's popping to mind immediately. Because there's also, well, actually, there's also that underwater zone, which I don't know what determines which one of those shows up. It may also be that the underwater zone isn't necessarily a separate thing. The other ones might be able to spawn as underwater. These slowing shots, especially with my fire rate, pretty potent. Kinda like them. I'm glad I purchased that. Speaking of purchase, there's another shop over here. This should be the trader. Yeah. What do you got for me, buddy? Sure. Give me your unsure thing. Hive Helm. Okay. That's kind of useless to me, but sure, give me the rest of your stock. Why not? Hits chip. Don't particularly care about that. And speed boost aura. That's a terrible idea. I hate you. I guess I'll take the hits chip. Because that's health drops to scrap, I believe. Which is not a great idea either. But it's less likely to get me killed than the speed boost aura. Because the speed boost aura, I'm going to randomly hit the use item button at some point. I don't know if I like that idea either. Knockback can save my damn life sometimes. It ends it sometimes too, but you know. I don't know. I don't really know which way he's gonna be better as far as that goes right now. But I guess it's another item I've never actually had on my person, so here we go. Trying out all the new things tonight. Half the time when those poison clouds go off, I get a brief panic moment of I'm dying. And then I'm not actually dying, so it's fine. Well, that explains the slurp noise I'm hearing. Oh god. No, 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 no. And speaking of dying... well, we now have a problem. That specific problem is we now have no Revenant stations left on the map that I know of. Whether there's one in the Lost City or not is up for debate. I think there can only be 2 Revenant stations, but given the spacing up there on the right underneath the map, I'd say there's the potential for there to be a 3rd. Whether said 3rd in fact has spawned And whether we can find said third one before our inevitable demise is up for even more debate. I would file that under very unlikely. Specifically under, if I accomplish that, somebody buy a lottery ticket because you're gonna win. Though if you do win, I want a portion of that money. Call it an advisor fee. Cheeky bastard. Sad. This is why you end up with a deck full of sad cards. Things no one else will get, but I don't care. Yeah, it's had a couple updates. Just no actual real updates. Trying to get past this thing is a real dangerous prospect. But necessary, sadly. This seems like a likely path to something worthwhile, considering it requires the most recent item. Oh, this connects to the side path over here. You know, had I looked at the map sooner, I would have probably realized that this wasn't worth my time to try to climb to. Though, I can't help but point out the fact that I have died every time involving this zone. Because this latest death was me trying to get back here, not realizing that that's what was happening. So what I'm trying to say is the Crystal Caves is a guaranteed death zone for me right now, apparently. Which is unfortunate. I'm so glad I have Hunter Killer. It solves problems for me. At least we've got a favorable angle to fight this guy from instead of having to be underneath him where he does most of his damage. Apparently there was something inside that wall, and he consumed it. Good for him. Oh yeah, because this was the path. Right. Ah, God. Why? Why must I keep getting surprise monsters? I mean, I guess that's the only kind of monsters that can survive my wild firing in all directions. And I'm not gonna lie, my goal has shifted in this run from defeat Mega Beast to see Mega Beast again. Because I'm starting to have my doubts about this setup I've got here. Partially tied to my current capabilities instead of the actual build's viability. Again, we find a small gap. Though we're finding some power-ups in a room again, finally. It's been a little bit since we got any of those. Then again, we are pretty stacked out as far as power-ups go. 5 attack power-ups is nice to have. Not as much as I had when I just dunked on the Mega Beast before. Which I would love to be able to do again, because it would make this a lot less of a concern. But sadly, that is not going to be the way this fight goes. We just simply do not have that much power at our disposal. I find myself decidedly not committed to finding this item right now. I say as I continue to search for it anyway. So at this point, I'm assuming it's up here where these jerks are. Yep, there we go. Not a thing I really want either, but, you know, I guess I'll take it. We still have all these explosive doors we can't open. Or am I an idiot and the Phazerang can open them? No, it reacts, but it's not opening them. Okay. So that's different. More energy, okay. Would have rathered more health, but I'll take more energy because it means I can fire the Hellfire Cannon at the Mega Beast more once we get there. That is not a worthwhile exchange. They're trying to defeat me with my favorite thing, fire. Makes me sad. I knew fire would turn against me one day. But god damn it, did it have to be today? Why can't we reschedule Betrayal? Well, there's the explosives, and it's explosive bolts, which is nice to see after all of the energy weapons we've been getting. Because if we had just gotten fire bolts and electric bolts and all of that, our shots would be so stupid right now. Sadly, not the case. We have to instead rely kind of on the Hellfire Cannon. Also, wow, that got nasty fast. Thankfully, we fixed it. How? Not entirely sure. Going to assume pure luck on that one. Definitely not skill. Judgment may have been slightly involved, but certainly not skill. Damn it. I was hoping to shortcut past this mess. But clearly that ain't meant to be. So what's behind door number bomb? And yes, I've now decided that bomb is a number. That is the level of tired I've achieved, and this is the life we live now. What? Not sure what killed me there. But as I said, that was going to be last run of the night. So 2.5 hours. Not terrible, not great, but it'll be what it'll be. Still, couple of good runs out of that. Some decent things happened. Had some fun. But either way, that will do it. You're welcome. The usual last minute, hey, you should follow if you enjoyed this and all of that rot. As I said earlier in the stream, probably gonna do another one tomorrow. It'll almost certainly be finishing Bloodstained tomorrow. Small chance I may change my mind on that if something else catches my eye between now and then, but that is a very small chance. Other than that, good night.